who do you think COVID impacts? Who does this impact negatively? Who could it potentially benefit?
You know, Rahul, that's a tough question to answer. What is clear is if you look at poll numbers, just in terms of polling, the first 3-4 rounds, Bengal is 85% plus in every round. It slipped to below 80%, I think, for the first time in the 6th round. So clearly, COVID may have had some marginal impact on turnout. Now, who that benefits is unclear. Both sides will say our voter turns out. You know, no political party will say our voter doesn't turn out. I think the fascinating aspect of the Bengal elections is that you have a party which in 2016 won just 3 seats, 2011 won 0 seats. So anything that they get in 2021 and they are looking at actually aspiring for power is a huge gain. On the other side, you have the established Trinamool Congress with a larger network because they have won 2 elections, but also faced with anti-incumbency. So I think it's very difficult to put a COVID impact, Rahul, but what is very clear is that COVID to some extent, I think, brought the narrative out of the shrill political rhetoric of the first 5 rounds. You know, Didi, oh Didi, the Prime Minister shouting, Mamta in turn sort of, you know, attacking Modi personally. I think the personalization became a little less in round 6, 7, 8. So the narrative has slightly changed, I think, but not...
But I don't agree with what you're saying.
You don't agree that the narrative changed of Bengal in round 6, 7, 8?
I think it impacts voting percentages in terms of the number who go out and vote.
Sure.
But in terms of an election where people have largely already decided, because it's such a polarized election, about who they want to vote for, it doesn't change the net outcome of voting decision on the ground.
I agree. That's why I said I'm not looking at outcomes. I'm saying narrative. Just think of the headlines that you had till about the 20th of April coming out of Bengal. Mamta slams Modi. Modi Shah slam Mamta. It was all very personalized. Then the Prime Minister stepped back, didn't go to Bengal because he was under criticism. Why are you addressing these large rallies? Amit Shah also had to scale down road shows. Mamta carried on. But even her rhetoric was now Prime Minister is responsible, Amit Shah is responsible for what is happening around COVID. So the narrative changed. Whether it changes outcomes,
because
I'm not so sure.
It impacts the election if it impacts your voting behavior.
We don't know whether...
Okay, so let's put that question to a crack team of political pundits who are joining Rajdeep and me on this exit poll evening. I want to welcome Kanchan Gupta, veteran journalist, editor, tracks the ins and outs of the elections in West Bengal. We have with us on this broadcast Veera Raga. Veera Raga will help us track what's happening in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Sachidaran Murthy is one of the top journalists, has tracked Kerala politics and has a good sense of national politics as well. We'll be listening in to him. Sandeep Shastri joins us. We have Rahul Verma joining us and also Manisha Priyam. I want to go across first and foremost to Sandeep Shastri and hear his thoughts on the question that we were discussing in the studio about the COVID impact from about the 4th and the 5th phase of the West Bengal election. It's very clear COVID numbers were spiking, COVID started entering the conversation. In such a situation, who do you think benefits, who do you think is impacted electorally?
Rahul, I think that is an extremely tough question. My response to that would be committed voters for the TMC, for the BJP, for the left, for the Congress. The committed voters would still go out and vote. And a secondary factor would be in the environment in which people live, the immediate environment in which people live. What is the COVID pandemic situation there? I think it's a combination of these 2 factors which will, for me, define and decide who is the one who would like to go out and vote. But I think the intensity of commitment to a party would be a critical factor in propelling them to go out and vote.
Rahul Verma, you are also someone who sort of decodes polling behavior. All that we've seen in the last 12 days is a slight reduction in poller turnout. We don't know the last phase in voting turnout. But beyond that, outcomes, do they sort of get influenced in the middle of a marathon election? In the first 4 or 5 phases, the public narrative largely centered around Hindu-Muslim politics, Mamta's track record, corruption. Suddenly, around the 20th of April, 3 rounds still to go, which is all about 104 seats, the narrative changes to COVID, at least in the media. Does that affect voter behavior, Rahul? Do you believe in the middle of an election, voter narratives can change? I don't think you're on mute, Rahul. I think you're on mute.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. So if you look at voter turnout has basically in 4 states, like barring West Bengal, the decline has been around 1 or 2%, which is normal fluctuation, which means voters have turned out in almost equal numbers. Second, can the narrative across phases change? Yes, it does. We saw that happening in Bihar elections in 2020. Even, the results also reflected where the NDA was behind our RJD alliance in phase 1. They make a catch up in phase 2 and basically takes a lead in phase 3. So elections can and do change across phases. Something like that can also happen in West Bengal. We cannot rule that out.
Right.
It was natural that once the COVID numbers started surging in the second week of April, that the focus will change on some of these aspects.
Right.
But I believe that given what is stake in West Bengal election, more or less the momentum gathered by one party by phase 6 will continue to gain in phase 7 or 8. It is
Okay.
not going to turn the election in that sense.